Hi everybody, this is Alice, Bejeweled Hedgehog, and I am doing Cast Off Tuesday on Tuesday. Um, I don't have a lot to show. I really don't have a lot to show. I've made some progress on the blanket that I am making for my niece's birthday, so I will show you that. It's getting big enough now that it is no longer portable. Let's see, here's my hook stuck in it. I don't want to lose my stitch. What have I done? Okay, here is my tangle blanket. Here we go. So I made some progress on my blanket, and I'm actually kind of, getting into making a blanket. I didn't think that I would have the staying power to do it, but I'm really kind of pleased with myself. It's very relaxing. It is very, very easy, and I'm finding that I'm enjoying it so much so that I think I will try another one when I'm done with this. So, let's see. Okay, the project that has been driving me nuts is last Cast Off Tuesday I showed you a flower beanie that I was working on, this one here, and this comes from the Blooming Flower Cushion pattern. I'll put the link below, and I've seen two other people making it, Dragon Chick 19 and Dump for Stump, Bruno, and he made a centerpiece, a flat centerpiece, and she was making her pillow really, really big. I don't think I'm misreading the pattern because I went back and looked at it. When I make this, the way the pattern calls for it is, you do a petal row in the front loops, and then you do a row of double crochet in the back loops, and you increase every other row. At least that's how I read the pattern. So when you do your increasing in the double crochet row, not the petal row, obviously. But when I did the increase every other row, it very, very quickly became conical, such that this was originally supposed to be a tam, but it was already curving in beanie fashion, so I just went ahead and made it into a beanie. Which is okay, but I'm a little confused as to how anyone could get the pattern to lay flat. And maybe part of it is my tension, maybe, hook size, yarn size, don't know. So when I went to start on the tam, which is right here, I decided to skip the row that was not an increase row, and I increased on every other row. That's what you see here. And yes, it is laying flat. It can lay flat, but I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of got that crinkly, it's puffing up partly because of the petals, but you can kind of see how sometimes when you're doing a hat and you don't seem to have quite the right hook size to match yarn, I don't know, it seems unusually crinkly, like roughly. I'm thinking that'll be okay. I'm going to go ahead and finish the tam because there are, with all the petals and everything, it's not really going to show. And I like the weight of yarn that I'm using, fingering weight, because it lets you get in a lot of petals across the top, and it'll really give you a really pretty look, I think. I think it'll look really nice. If I were to use a heavier weight yarn, there would be less petals. But clearly something about this pattern is just not happening the right way. And the other thing is this, I somehow, and I don't that often, if I'm paying attention, I don't often mess up. But I keep messing up on this one in terms of, I'm thinking that I'm doing the increased rows correctly, the appropriate number of stitches. But then when I go to do the petal row, the petals won't be in sync. And the first couple of rows they were in sync, and then they stopped. And if you can see from the back, there are areas here, where it looks like there's a little hole. You cannot see it from the front, but that's because in order to make the petals match up, I had to skip some of the crochets. So I'm intrigued by the idea of a flower stem, and I am not giving up. I'm going to finish this one because even though it has these flaws, it will still make a very pretty hat. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the next one, whether I am going to go up a hook size. I was thinking I will keep maybe the petals, the way they're supposed to be, but instead of using double crochets, I'll use half double crochets. Anyway, that's what I've been working on, and I'll still be plugging away at it, and I'll show you something next week. So that is it for my crafting. I got very frustrated with that, and this time, usually when I get frustrated, I just turn away and make something else. But I'm really intrigued with the flower tam, and I really don't want to let it go. And I also don't want an unfinished object. So that's what I've been doing. I will show you a jewelry craft, just so that, I have some things to show here. This is a necklace that I made. This one is a little wooden square. And you can just get these little wooden squares at craft stores. You can get them on Etsy. And I painted the back black, and then I made a glittery wash where I just took plain mud. You can't really see it that well. It's washing out. Ah, there you got it. It's iridescent. See that? I took plain mud, Mod Podge, and I got one of those little glitter samplers that you can get at the craft store where they have those little tiny baggies with all the different colors of glitter. And I mixed the glitter in with the Mod Podge and did a couple of layers of it to give it this very glittery look. And then on the front, I did one of the little altered art pictures. Sometimes moving it back, it makes it come in clearer. And I added some crystals to it to give it some interest. And then I put it on a chain, and I added this insert of a flower and 2 crystals. So that is the necklace. And then I thought I would show some things that I made before I joined Cast Off Crew. So just so that I would have a few other things to show. I will put the links to it's a blooming flower cushion, so I'll put that down below. And then I will put the links to the 2 scarves I'm going to show you. This is a lovely scarf. I love the pattern. It's very long, very swirly. The yarn is Knit Picks Chroma, and I believe the color is called Pegasus. And the pattern is called the Boteh, B-O-T-E-H scarf. And I did it wrong. It calls, what I have in here are, I believe they're triple crochets. And after I had already done several of the leaves, I picked it back and looked at it, back up and looked at it again for some reason, and realized they were supposed to be double triple crochets. So this is actually supposed to be even lighter and airier between the the solid segments, and it's really very easy. You start at this end, and then you just work your way along and decreasing as you go, and then you do this row, work your way along decreasing as you go, then you do this lacy row, and then you start here. And I'll put a link for the pattern. It is a bought pattern, and it was a pretty expensive one, but I just fell in love with it. I mean, it's just so, so beautiful. And the pattern called for a border, but because this was self-striping, I figured any border I put on it is just going to look funny. I mean, it would look, the stitching might look better if it had the single, I can't remember whether it was single crochet or double crochet border all the way around it, but I didn't want it to, I looked at a couple of colors of yarn, and I just decided I liked it with the changing rainbowy colors rather than trying to pick a color and do an outline. Although Knit Picks Chroma does come with some solid colors, so I think if you want to mix a solid color in with your variegated colors, you can. And then my final project right here is a wrap. I believe it's called a Tranquil Wrap. I will look and see what pattern it is, and I'll put a link to it. It was a free Ravelry pattern. I believe it's put out by one of the yarn companies. And this particular yarn is by Autumn Hill Farms. It's called Llama Linen, and it's a mixture of llama wool and linen, obviously. The color is bittersweet, and I got a great deal on this. I was at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival last year, and they had skeins of this marked down because we got there Sunday, and I was still looking around at things late in the day, so I kind of got their clearance price. They had marked down all the skeins, so I got three skeins of this maybe. Anyway, it is incredibly soft, and I just love it. So, that is it for me. Hopefully I will have more to show you next week, and hopefully I will have ironed out some of my problems with the flower tam. Several people have asked to see a tutorial, and I've now figured out how to make videos with my camera. The next step is going through my sister's garage and finding a tripod that we have, but I just don't, nobody knows where it is except that it's in there. So, when I get that, I will, if nothing else, if I can't work out the tam pattern in a satisfactory way, I can't really do a tutorial when I'm just sort of messing around and, fudging the stitches so that they fit together. I want to actually be able to do it properly before I show the tam. But if I never really work the tam out, I can do one on the beanie. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you, Laura, for letting me join the cast-off crew. I absolutely love it. I get so many inspirations from watching everyone. I will put links below to all the members of the cast-off crew. I forgot to last week. Oh, I think I had the links, but I forgot to talk about the cast-off crew. So I just want everyone who's seeing this video to know that this is a wonderful group of people, and everybody picks a day of the week and shows what they do. Crocheting, knitting, fiber arts, and you can also throw in some other crafts like my jewelry that I just showed. So, please subscribe to everyone you see, and you won't be disappointed. Also, if you're interested in joining, there'll be a link below for Crochet Zombie, the Laura Sweet Pagan Rose. Go ahead and contact her and let her know you're interested. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.